Now let's look at some examples using loops in our code editor.
In our first example, we want Tracy to use a for loop to draw a square. In order to have Tracy draw a square, she's going to need to move forward and turn and forward and turn and do that 4 times. Now we know we can write our code this way and Tracy will draw me a square, but is this the best way to write this code? Now that we know about loops, there's a better way. Let's initialize our loop at the top for I in range 4 and indent the commands we want to repeat. And we'll delete all of these commands because now they're extra now that we have our loop. Let's see if Tracy does what we want. Perfect. It's important to remember there are many ways to solve a coding challenge, and some ways may be better than others, like writing this code with a for loop, for example. In this example, we want to draw a dotted line across the width of our canvas, where each dash and space is only 5 pixels wide. Let's write the first commands of our code. First, we want to tell Tracy to move backward 200 to get to the left side of our canvas, but we don't want her to leave a trail yet, so I'm going to use pen up before she moves. Now we want Tracy to start drawing short dashes, which means she's going to first put the pen down and then move forward 5, then lift the pen up and move forward 5 again. Now we need to determine how many times I'm going to have to repeat this code to get to the end of the canvas. Starting from the left edge, Tracy has moved 10 pixels total. If the width of our canvas is 400 pixels, we're going to need to repeat this code 40 times to get all the way to the end because 10 times 40 is 400. Let's write that loop. I'm going to write for I in range 40 before I start the commands that I want to repeat and indent all the commands below. Let's see if this works. Great. Before you go on to write your own code using loops, I wanted to point out some more helpful tips in the code editor. You'll notice in our loop that the words for and in turned purple. This is the editor's way of letting you know it recognizes the phrases you typed. If you've already learned some programming in other languages, such as JavaScript, you may get a little confused about which terms should be used in each language. This color recognition is a good way to help you remember which phrases are the correct ones for Python. The last tip I wanted to show you is the Documents tab. If you ever forget the correct syntax or you need a refresher on which phrase is used for a specific command, you can find a lot of helpful information here to answer your basic questions. For example, if you forget the correct syntax for writing a loop, you can click Loops here and you'll be given some information to get you back on track.
Now it's your turn to use for loops in Tracy programs of your own.